Social Democratic Party. Jubilee, the National Republican Convention. The president himself should have with all the candidates and members of the party, two parties, so that election on Saturday will be smooth and fair, and there will be no cheating in the electionary process. Therefore, I enjoin you to take this into the election of
Chief Rashidi Williams, I greet you. Else, that time is precious. If I tell you what has been happening, you will know why it is that I could not have been here 5 minutes earlier than I did. I got instructions from Abuja about 11 p.m. last night to go and receive the president of Tanzania, who was in transit. That meant that on arrival, I will receive him and will wait with him until he departed. So I had no control over it at all. The purpose of this meeting arose from my own experience, that when I was a candidate, a meeting such as this was called by the then military government, because he is right now in conference with Dr. Professor Mosu, but he has sent his second in command here. But because you have expended a lot of time waiting for this meeting, I decided that we should get along. He'll join us when he arrives. You want to contest an election. You can only do this successfully in a peaceful environment. As the person in charge of security in this state, it behooves me to ask that we have this short dialogue in order to find ways and means of not allowing trouble in any shape or form to rear its ugly head. And we can do this if really we want to do it. I want to do it, and I'm sure you all want to do it. The government of the Federation holds the candidates responsible for any breakdown in law and order on election day. It seemed to me before that this was a little unfair. That how could I be in one place and be held responsible for what was happening in another ward, if you like to put it that way. Let's hope you see what I mean. I thought it was unfair, but that's the way the law puts it now, that the candidates are to be held responsible if their followers try to perpetrate disorder. So I would like to urge you to encourage them to go about the election process carefully, without causing any problem for the state and the country as a whole. There are many ways trouble could be invited. Trouble does not go anywhere unless it's invited. And they say, he who troubles trouble will be troubled. Abusive language and the like can stir up trouble. So we want to urge you to show by your own example to your followers that elections are never a do or die battle. At the end, they should together carry on as if they had played no game. In the course of our dialogue this afternoon, I'm sure you will generate ideas to which we can jointly find and suggest solutions. So you can say that although it may seem that this is something you already know we're talking about, it is important to remind ourselves as election is pretty close. This is our country, we don't have another country. We cannot afford to put it in trouble and be laughed at by the world. This is a topic for discussion this afternoon, and I would like you to contribute freely.
Little observations to make. One, we learned that some special civil servants have been recruited to officiate on Saturday as returning officers, and we are totally against this. And we will appreciate if you please put necessary machinery in action to ensure that this does not happen on Saturday. We want free and fair election on Saturday. Thank you.
Senatorial candidate, Lagos State. I have some observations which I think should be checked. Yesterday in Ekpe, I was there, and around 6 o'clock, I heard unusual knocks from some porters. So I had to stop my car. By the time I looked back, I saw some small children jumping over one another, trying to catch something from the street. I asked my driver to get down and investigate what was happening behind. I realized that, sorry to mention this, but just to check that it doesn't happen again. The vehicle of my opponent was trying to wrinkle some money and throw it onto the main road. I don't think that is proper. They are going to jeopardize the safety of the small children, and I don't want that to happen again.
Constituency officers and poll clerk, poll lordlies. Then there is the other level, the collation points, which is a counter check on the other level. The collation points are where they collate the votes at the ward or the local government level. We felt that as a way of checking any abuses by the teachers, we use another set of people. That is why we use very senior civil servants. Very senior civil servants. As for departments, people on level 16, 15 and whatever. And that conforms with the directive from the headquarters of the National Electoral Commission. But because of the important role returning officers are supposed to play, you should endeavor to appoint only people in top positions of impeccable characters, retired judges, retired senior civil servants, or serving senior civil servants. And in order to keep with the trend, this is exactly what we are doing again this time around. We have selected very senior civil servants within the state service to serve as collation officers at the various collating points, that is ward, local government, senatorial level, while the teachers serve as the presiding officers on the field. The sense in that is that if there's any mistake on the field there, and you put teachers again as collating officers, say principals, they may want to protect their kith and kin. Or if you put another set of people there, the tendency is to expose and check any abuse. And that is exactly what we have done. And then in addition, we just don't select them. We screen, security vetting. We submit their names to the security agency for screening. And if there's any adverse report on anybody, we drop him or her. There were people we have used in the past that we are not going to use again because of one thing or the other, one report or the other. So I can assure on behalf of the Commission that the set of people we are going to use are people that we consider of very good character and will serve impartial roles. And of course, they have been screened by the security agency. If there's any adverse report against anybody, we drop him or her.
I don't think one has to fear anything, because from the adverts, one sees that there is concern for the people and for the common people in all the adverts. Particularly, my small boy was calling me that I've never seen a child talking when he watched one on the television. A child was talking about his future and all that. And the other one again, it turns out today, was the formation of Nigeria, a political party. And all the things we have been saying is to build the reformation and to get this country in place. We have known Lagos to be the center, or to be the starting point for political democracy. We have been having elections since 1923, and this is not new to us. And I'm sure with all the electoral officers have said and what the Secretary has mentioned, this will allay the fears of everybody who are here present. And I'm sure that if we all keep to the rules, we shall find at the end of the day that we have really demonstrated what democracy is, not only to Nigeria, but to the other part of the world. And we are being looked forward to as a symbol for everything that is happening in all the civilized world. And I hope we shall not disappoint you.
That's not for that one.
launching of an all-important service in Lagos State. You will agree with me that without transportation, most of us would not have been here today. Because if we set out from our different locations to Alausa and started trekking, many of us would not be here as legally turned out as we are. And most of us will still be on the way, because I can see some people I know there who have come all the way from Lagos Island. And I know some who came all the way from Ikoyi. And there are others from Akaba. That the Lagos State government has thought it fit to launch a unique service called the Jubilee. The government cares about its people, it provides them with the basic things of life. That is transport, housing, and food. I'm sure very soon the Lagos State government will be doing something new in the area of agri. Suffice it to say that Governor Michael Otedola has been leading the forefront when it comes to provision of service for people. So bless you, sir.
Gbogbo ènìyàn wa, mo kí yín látòrí gómìnà wa, bàbá wa ọlọ́lá Sir Michael Otedola. Mo kí aṣíwájú ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n wà nínú ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Mo kí akọ̀wé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, màmá wa tí wọ́n jókòó sí apá àlàáfíà gómìnà wa. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olùdarí iléeṣẹ́ ọba, gbogbo ẹ̀yin lọ́gàálọ́gàá lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba pátápátá. Mo kí gbogbo ìbàyọ̀ mátántà. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn yìí lọ́kùnrin àti lóbìnrin pátápátá ni mo kí lọ́sàn-án yìí. Gbogbo wa láti mọ̀ díẹ̀ sí àtúnṣe sí. A ti rí ẹyin ilẹ̀, a lè ti rẹ́nu ọkọ́. A ti ráwọn mọ́tò akérò tuntun kùtì kan. Àfihàn ọlá ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ kí wọ́n fún àtúrí àga láti bá wa ṣe àwọn ọkọ̀ ìtúndínlò wa lẹ́yìn afọ̀fẹ́kọ́ ní wa. Ọlọ́run àjẹkọ́ tó bọ̀ máa mọ̀ ọ́n ṣe. Ẹ bá mi pàtẹ́wọ́ láti ṣe. Ẹ ṣe púpọ̀. Ẹni tó fi mí hàn, àwọn ni Lẹ́kan òun bá wò.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll set the ball of this occasion rolling, but just before that I have the governor's approval to apologize on his behalf that we're starting late. Accept it? Good. Let me invite the Honorable Commissioner for Works and Transport, Engineer Ajiloba, to please come forward, sir.
His Excellency, Sir Michael Otedola, the Honorable Speaker of the State House of Assembly, I haven't seen him, sorry. Members of the State Executive Council and Secretary to the State Transit Buses. You will all agree with me that the citizens of the state are encountering great difficulties in commuting from one part of the state to the other. This is as a result of inadequate transport facilities such as buses, trains, and ferry boats. Another reason is the inability to effectively utilize existing facilities. It is in view of this that the governor made it one of his campaign promises to reduce transportation problems within the state if elected. In fulfillment of this promise, the present Lagos State administration is exploiting all avenues to find ways of ameliorating the situation. One way of easing the problem is to revitalize the Lagos State Transport Corporation.
Laudable effort by supplying the first 30 buses assembled and entirely built by us in our factory in Apapa. As the offspring of the former Federated Motor Industries, Niger Motors, this new company, General Motors Nigeria, is the oldest vehicle assembly plant.
A government promise of doing something, and within 4 months, such promise come to them.
Has reached another milestone in its giant strides to excel in the arduous task of providing for the greatest good of the masses. The formal commissioning of the Jubilee line mass transit buses, for which we are here gathered this afternoon, is therefore historic. In my budget speech earlier this year, I mentioned that the hardships of Lagos commuters would be vigorously looked into by this administration. It is therefore with a sense of fulfillment and pride that I am launching these 30 buses today as a symbolic demonstration of the seriousness which this administration attaches to the welfare of its citizens. Complementary to this, I want to mention the additional fleet of buses and the establishment of mass transit companies by a number of local governments in Lagos. From travel delays, long waiting time, illegal parking on roadways are quite acute on Lagos roads, despite the high concentration of roads and access roads. I must stress that the network of primary I therefore call on all local governments to assist in controlling illegal trading, illegal parking, boarding and alighting of passengers from buses on roadways. Commercial drivers are enjoined to obey highway regulations, notably the picking of passengers on expressways with special reference.
máa gbégun kè lọ ni. Olégùnkè náà. Òkè náà kọjú sí òkè náà máa fẹ́ lọ.
Abala, ẹjọ́ káwọn lọ sí fún ní ẹjọ́. Nìṣó lọ́fíìsì
wọ́n ti tó ìwà ní ìpínlẹ̀ náà. Hey, ọmọ ńlá.